Good evening, I'm back. I'm Jack Remington of Quintessence Productions, LLC. This is week 10 of the NFL coming up. Entertainment purposes only, folks. Remember that. Okay. Last week, we did bounce back some. The previous 2 weeks, we were 2 wins and 8 losses and split the bonus games. Not good. I promised my followers that I would take more time and do a little better, and we did. We were 3 wins, 2 losses with the core picks, and 2 wins and 1 loss with the bonus picks. 2-0 with other extra bonus picks I didn't put on the video, so I shouldn't even discuss them. But we had a good week last week. Our first pick, we had the steal +3 to wrap Baltimore. And one of my handicapping techniques is that I'm willing to share is that I look for teams going in different directions, plus division rivalries. And Baltimore had already beaten them once at Pittsburgh, so this was a revenge game, a revenge spot, plus getting 3 points, which we didn't need. Pick number 2, I got an email. Quintessence, you just got telling the world how great Carolina was and how they are a Super Bowl contender and how they can control the clock and how bad Tampa was, and they've lost their 3 of the 4 best defensive ends that they had, and you still took Tampa Bay as a road dog +6 at Carolina, and they were terrible. You made a bad pick, and I agree. So I made a bad pick, and that one was on me. Game number 3, we had the Falcons +1.5 at Washington. Washington was surging. They're in first place in their division, feeling good about themselves. The Falcons, experience, they're getting to 1.5, and that was a good pick. And I love that pick for 2 reasons. Number 1, Washington's full of themselves a little bit, and they're feeling good about themselves. It's human nature. They're young men, but the Falcons, they're surging too, and they are a legitimate Super Bowl threat. And Matty Ice and his receiver Julio Jones are getting in shape. Jones had an injury earlier in the season. He didn't look hurt in that game. The 4th game, we lost that one. We had Green Bay +6 at New England. I had stated on the other video that you give me Aaron Rodgers at 6, I'm taking him every time. I'll still stand by that. And I like the pick, even though I know I lost. I know I'm down on New England this year, but New England is punishing me for that. The game was a back and forth game, a great game, back and forth, and I watched parts of it. Green Bay had tied the game up and actually got the ball back, and they were moving down to go ahead late in the 3rd quarter, early 4th quarter. And then they had a turnover on the 18-yard line. New England turns right around and scores. I mean, you can see the wind go out of their sails. The momentum changed. I'm not making excuses for the Green Bay loss. I'm not making excuses for the possible bad pick. So we just got to just chalk it up, and that's okay. We won the 5th game. We had Tennessee +6.5 at Dallas. Now here's where it comes into play about the coach on the hot seat. Jerry Jones is not exactly known for knowing when to keep his coaches, know who to hire, know who to fire. I erased my Jimmy Johnson tirade last week because the video was already 11 minutes long, but Jerry Jones is totally clueless about his coaches. His son, Stephen Jones, is a good general manager. His sons do very well and are saving Jerry's you-know-what. But that's what your sons are for. Who else can't you trust if you can't trust your sons? See Gladiator, the movie, great movie. So Jason Garrett knows he's on a hot seat. Jason Garrett was never going to be designed as a first-tier Jimmy Johnson, Vince Lombardi, Bill Belichick, Bill Walsh, Chuck Knox, or Bud Grant type of coach, or Chuck Noll of the Steelers. Jason Garrett was never going to be that, and I love Jason Garrett. I think he's a good guy. He's in a bad spot. I mean, he wanted the job, and he was to back up to Troy Aikman all those years, and he's a very good football person. But I just think that he would actually do better on another team. I'm going to word it like that. Jason Garrett would have a better coaching record if he's on any other team besides the Dallas Cowboys. And the ghost of Jimmy Johnson's over him, and I think it's putting some undue pressure on Jason Garrett, and he's on the hot seat now. His team played like it last week, and I banked on that, and I took a low-scoring defensive team, the Tennessee Titans, and I did get this email. Dear Quintessence, how could you pick the Titans in 6.5 over to Dallas? They're at home. They've defied expectations. They're playing well at home, and you're saying they're going to turn to the pumpkin of days past, and they're going to be the bad home team. Well, you're going to lose this one. So good luck to you. You're a fraud. You're a has-been. So I got 2 things to say. I won with the pick. Number 2, better be a has-been than it never was. So, but I don't want to insult my subscriber. I want them to keep watching. So. I already sent them an email and everything is cool. That was last week. Oh, and the bonus picks. We were 2 wins and 1 loss. Started that, we lost the first bonus pick. I had the stupid Jets +3. at Miami. The two great picks that people question me why I didn't put these two picks on the main core, and that's on me. If I'd done that, I would have been 5-0. We had the Texans +1. They're at Denver, and we had the Saints at home hosting the Rams -1.5. We won both of them. We did get one email. I'll read it to you really quick. Dear Quintessence, you were right about the Saints. We looked at their past records the last 10 years. You were right. They start 0-2, 1-3, 0-3, 2-5. Then they go on a tear every year, and they were finishing 7-9 on bad years. And on good years, they were winning 9, 10, 11 games. So because of you, we're going to take the Saints. And thank you for having faith in my bonus pick. So this week, we're going to take the New York Jets at home -6.5, and they're hosting the Buffalo Bills, a team that is truly broken. They're a 31st ranked team in the NFL in power ranking. The Jets quarterback is out too. Darnold, I promise you, I don't know who's playing quarterback for the Jets, but whoever that is, it's got to be better than Peterman for the Bills. Peterman has the highest interception percentage in modern football history since 1950. There was no other quarterback that's played more than 4 games or more than 100 passes that has a higher interception percentage than this guy named Peterman. Look it up. I mean, I was shocked to see this. They're going to play this guy this week. And Buffalo got him twice last year. And the Jets are a game ahead of Buffalo for last place. They want to stay out of the cellar. The Jets have been a little competitive. I think this year the Jets got the better defense. And I look for Todd Bowles to ratchet it up. And this is a good chance for him to get a somewhat easy win. So I'm doing something I don't like to do. I'm taking a bad team, but they're playing an even worse team. And I'm laying the points that I've taken them. But the favorites are slapping the underdogs this year. Game number 2, the Atlanta Falcons -4 at Cleveland. Well, I'm doing it again. I'm taking a favorite, and I'm taking a road favorite against the Cleveland at home at the Pound. Okay, but Cleveland's in severe turmoil. They fired Hugh Jackson. They got rid of Todd Haley, the offensive coordinator, who I think was a lot of source of the problem. He wasn't Pittsburgh, he wasn't Kansas City. That's why they got rid of him, and now Cleveland's got rid of him. Game number 3, the Washington Redskins +3 at Tampa. Okay, you heard my comments about the Redskins. You heard my comments about the Tampa Bay Bucks. And I know I went against Washington last week at home as a slight home favorite. But I just knew Atlanta was going to run right through them. This week I'm taking Washington on the road. They're going to rebound. They got the better coaching staff with Jay Gruden. They got a better team in the first place. The only thing Tampa has is a possible good high-flying pinball offense when Fitzpatrick is on. But Alex Smith is decent in his own right, but he's a dink-and-dunk passer. He's a conservative passer. He's the game caretaker type quarterback. Washington matches up well with Tampa because Tampa has no defense. And if Alex Smith is a ball control quarterback, I think the Redskins are going to bounce back. I know Tampa's home. I know Tampa needs to win. But I think Tampa's season is essentially over. They're going to be the last place team in that strong NFC South. Hightower's questionable. He's probably not going to play. He's their best rusher. He's got 4 of the team's 10 sacks. They're in 28th in the NFL in sacks. I mean, they have no pass rush, and they're back 4 defensive backs, and safeties are not that much better. I think Marcus Mariota's played against them a few times in the playoffs and regular season now. He's come into his own. I like Tennessee as a home dog getting the 6.5, and we're just going to hope for a close game. Last game, I'm going to get the most emails and the most hate mail about. I'm taking the Jacksonville Jaguars +3 points. They're at Indianapolis. This is the make or break game for Jacksonville. They're 3-5. Okay, Jacksonville's lost their last 4 games. Their last win was against the Jets. They won 31-12 at home, hosting the Jets. But then they went to Kansas City, lost 30-14. They went at Dallas. They lost 40-7. Home at Houston, they lost 20-7. The game was competitive. Hosted Philadelphia, lost 24-18. A game that they actually could have tied the game up and won that game, but they didn't. The Colts have won 2 in a row, but they beat Oakland 42-28, and they beat Buffalo 37-5. Wow, this was really scaring me. But the 3 games before that, they lost at the Jets 42-34, lost at New England 38-24, and me and my wife, we spent their 20th anniversary. We watched that game with Catalina Island. And they hosted Houston. They lost 37-34 in overtime. And I think it was Houston's first win. Houston started 0-3. Long story short, Jacksonville gets Fournette back, the running back. They're going to control the ball. They know they got to stop Andrew Luck. It's a division rivalry. They play each other twice. I just think Jacksonville needs this game. If they fall to 3-6 with no more buys coming up, they got to play the next 6 weeks after that. Their season is essentially finished. But I still say they got the best general manager in football. I know John Elway's a great quarterback, and he's a great general manager for the Broncos, and he knows football inside and out. That's not the point. As far as general managers go, you got to have seriously in-depth knowledge about all your players and all your positions. And I think Tom Coughlin, and his record speaks for itself. He is the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick Patriot killer with 2 Super Bowls over them and countless other games that he won with both Jacksonville and the New York Giants. Bonus picks. Seattle plus 10 at the Rams. I know the Rams are great. The Rams beat Seattle at Seattle. This is the first time in Russell Wilson's career he's ever been a double-digit dog. That's going to grate on him. He's a competitor. He's a scrappy little competitor. He's going to prove to the world that he's still great. And I'm looking for a close game. Impossible upset. Rams, they just got schlankered by the Saints. They just, oh my goodness, what happened? Okay, we're still in first place, don't worry. They're a young team, but they might have a hangover. I can see Seattle possibly upsetting this team. Cincinnati Bengals plus 5.5, hosting the Saints. Again, hangover. The Saints just knocked off the mighty vaunted Rams, undefeated Rams, who was beat-slapping the NFL. Come on. This is Gemini. Come on. And she helped me pick the games too. But I'm looking for a close game. I'm looking for the Bengals to bounce back. They haven't been playing too good lately. They had that big lead against Tampa and almost blew it. Marvin Lewis, I think, is a great coach. I can't say enough good things about Marvin Lewis. I think he's in a bad spot. He's on a bad team. He's made them better than what they really were. I'm going to take the home dog Cincy here to 5.5 points and hope it's enough. It's just for entertainment, right, folks? We're all friends here. I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs, home favorite, and they're laying 16.5 against the Arizona Cardinals. What else can I say about the Cardinals? You want to talk about a broken team? They're the last ranked team. They're worse. They're ranked lower than Buffalo. They're the 32nd ranked team in the NFL. And they've only beaten one team this year. They beat the 49ers twice, and they should have lost both those games. And this reminds me of a college football game. You know the team was going to win, but by how much? And the only tip I'm going to share right now is that you can go to Vegas, you can go online, you can say I'll take Kansas City to win the game on the money line. I'm not going to give them 16.5 points, but you're gonna lay $2,200 just to win $100. It's really a bad bet. And I used to do this, and the first few times I did this, I would cash in my $100, cash in my $100. You're putting up $2,200 to win $100. But one time I finally did that. It's when the Denver Broncos was hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars, a playoff game, and they were 15.5 point favorites, and I put up my $2,200 to win my 100. And guess what? Not only did Jacksonville cover the spread, they won the game outright, 30-27. So that taught me a lesson. You're better off taking the money line with taking the Jacksonville Jaguars team, or the money line taking the Arizona type team here, putting half the money on the spread and half on the money line in case there is an upset. You actually come out ahead that way. I shouldn't give advice because, like my wife always says, advice to give advice for advice sake is never a good thing, because wise men don't need it and fools don't heed it. So I'll leave it at that. But if you like what you see, give us a thumbs up, please subscribe, and thank you.